Hi, jewells68 here for Talk to Me Tuesday on Tuesday, May 30th, the last Tuesday in May. Last week I showed you the modification I did to the top that I bought for my black outfit for chorus for our concert this weekend. Concerts. We're doing one in Santa Fe on Saturday evening, and then we're doing another one here in Albuquerque at the First Unitarian Church on Sunday afternoon. The theme this year is women through history, basically focusing on the strength of women and the battles that we fought and are continuing to fight. And so since we're doing a couple of, at least 2 or 3 songs from the between the late 1800s and early 1900s, before women had the right to vote, before African Americans had the right to vote, but had just been freed from slavery. We're doing a song based on a poem written by Sojourner Truth, Ain't I a Woman? And we're also doing, we've got different eras in there. So we've got a couple of women's rights, workers' rights type march songs in there, and Bread and Roses and another. So because a couple of these are, the one that we're marching into the concert is from the women's suffrage movement, then our women's workers' rights movement. We're going to be carrying signs like we're picketing, and when we come in, some of us will be carrying signs, some will be wearing some of the banners that the suffragettes wore when they were marching for the right to vote. And I made this weekend. It's a rosette. You saw them. This is pins, badges, that they're called in the UK. But in the UK, the colors for the women's vote movement were purple, white, and green. In the US, instead of green, it was yellow. So I actually had these in with my scraps of quilting cottons, and so I made 3 yo-yos, 3 different sizes. After looking at the badges, I thought, I bet I could just do that with a yo-yo. So it was my first time making yo-yos. I found a bunch of tutorials online. It was super easy, and it worked out perfectly. It's a real nice size. Some of them had ribbons hanging down. I decided to forgo the ribbon because I really don't feel like working on it anymore. But so I'll be wearing this when we march in. The other thing is also, the other crafty thing I did is also related to chorus, and that is, I mentioned that our accent color, starting last season, I think, after I left, it used to be purple back when I made the horrible vest. This time it's turquoise. And I'm wearing, our colors are all black, but then we wear an accent all in the same color. Since I couldn't find, a blouse or even like a little sweater or anything in the color that I needed, I went to Michael's on Friday afternoon, and I bought a bead set, a bead kit. And I actually just used the clear elastic bead thread, because I really don't feel like messing with. I gave away all my jewelry making stuff a couple of years ago to a friend's daughter, who was interested in doing it, and so all I have left, I don't have any jewelry making stuff. So, so I made this with the Stretch Magic, I think it's called. The 1mm size, because I didn't want to take a chance on it breaking, and these are kind of heavy. They're sort of like, I guess, clay beads is what they kind of feel like. But they're a turquoise with a little bit of gold kind of woven through them, like gold cracks is what they look like. And there was enough to make that. Actually, I have quite a bit left over. I also bought some earring findings. So these are my earrings. And I think they're big enough to stand out against the black to give me my highlight color, or whatever they call it. I forget what accent color. Excuse me. Okay, so my phone never rings, but that was the bank calling to ask me something. Anyway, yeah, so those are the crafty things I did. I also, you'll see that the Oceanica quilt bits are gone. That's because I sashed them and put using the same color as the sashing, put a small border around it, and I decided to try to quilt that and try the medallion method of Ann Peterson from her class, Big Projects on the Small Machine, which I bought from Craftsy. I'm going to give that a try. So I'm in the process of quilting that now. Now she does suggest doing stitch in the ditch first, just in your outside edges, your borders basically. The first one in from the outside in invisible thread, and then in the bobbin using just some thread that matches, polyester thread that matches your backing. I went to Joann's yesterday, or Sunday, and I bought this really good tonal. It's black with sort of like gray polka dots, but it also has a little bit of a tonal change in the behind the dots. I really liked this. This is really good basic blender. They're called, I think the name of the fabric was something blender. Dots blender or something like that. And I liked it so much that I ended up buying a little bit of yardage of each of these colors. I've got an orange, there's the orange, I've got a bright green, a navy, sort of a navy blue, and then they didn't have a yellow. I wanted a yellow, but they did have this really nice yellow tonal. It's just sort of a, I don't know, it might be a batik actually, but they had that, and they were all on sale. So I got those just because I went to go do this, and it was just not even a yard square, and I didn't have a piece of fabric big enough to put on the back. So I've used up my yardage so much that I just didn't have anything. So anyway, that's it. So so I'm all set for that, and now I've got fabric on hand that I can use for backing on Linus quilts, and I will probably, I ended up getting extra because it was the end of the bolt of the navy blue, so I'm thinking I might go with sort of a bluish theme. I've really been leaning towards oceans and like sailboats and things again. I don't know why. I just really love how that looks on a baby quilt. It's just really cute. So I'm trying to decide what I want to do, but I will probably, and I'm also kind of leaning towards polka dots, which I was going to do, like maybe just applique circles or something, which I was going to do on a quilt years ago, and I never did. And I do have that baby quilt I need to get done by September, so I'm thinking I might use the blue for backing and maybe even binding on that. I might even have enough to use some for sashing, who knows. But I'm thinking I kind of want to do another either like boats or ocean themed one for my nephew's baby that's due in September. And that's it. That's all I got going on. I will be hopefully able to do a video next week. I'm going to be wiped out because it's going to be a long weekend. We've got tech rehearsal Thursday night, so I'll be home late. And then I'll be going straight from work. And we'll be coming home late because we're going to go through the whole thing and work out all the lights and everything. And then Saturday I have to drive up to Santa Fe, and that's like almost an hour each way. And we have to do the same thing there just before the show. So that's going to be a long day. And then we have the actual final Albuquerque concert on Sunday. So yeah, it's going to be a busy week. Very excited that my coworker's back because that lightens things up at work a bit. I can focus more on my actual job, which is great. It makes everybody really happy, and to be able to have both of us there, so that's really cool. The stress levels seem to have just sort of dissipated a little bit over the last few days. Everybody's a little less tense, which is great. I look forward to watching all your videos, and I will see you next week. Bye!